Even though we're quite familiar with Alcatel's line of mobile phones, most consumers are still widely in the dark regarding the company's existence in the space. It's just a name that doesn't ring a bell for many people. Now, during Mobile World Congress 2015, which was held just a few months ago, we were kind of delighted by the pre-production model of the Alcatel OneTouch Idol 3. Now that it's in final form, we're kind of interested to find out what exactly this $250 outright price phone can bring to the table. Hey guys, it's John V from PhoneArena, and you're watching our video review of the Alcatel OneTouch Idol 3. While it doesn't have the same premium aesthetics as other phablet-esque smartphones like the iPhone 6 Plus or the Note 4, the Alcatel OneTouch Idol 3 has a surprisingly pleasant design that we like. Now, it's made of plastic mostly, but it's not the cheap variety. They have this nice brushed metallic finish to it. It emulates that finish, but it is plastic. And you see it around the bezel too, and it contrasts nice with the chrome accents around it as well. And the thing that's most notable is that it's pretty compact for a phablet, and on top of that, it's significantly lightweight. You get a generous size 5.5-inch 1080p IPS display, which is fully laminated and utilizes this thing that Alcatel calls their Technicolor Enhanced technology. Now, when we first look at it, we were surprised that this was an IPS display because it had more characteristics akin to an AMOLED panel. So you have those saturated color tones, that wide view angles, and just that brilliant glow. And you see it here with this IPS panel, and it comes off really attractive. It's not the most color accurate, but does a lot better job than most AMOLED displays. And with its peak brightness output of over 600 nits, it makes it more than visible outdoors. So the whole package is quite a surprise, to tell you the truth. Taking a tour around the phone, we have dual front-firing JBL speakers with an 8-megapixel camera on the front. The right side, we just have the volume controls, while on the left, we have the micro SD card slot and SIM slot right here. And next to it is the dedicated power button. Now, it's placed way high up, so it's an inconvenient location. It'd been better if they placed it towards the middle for easier access. While at the bottom, you have the micro USB port with the microphone, and on top you have the noise cancellation mic, 3.5mm headset jack. And finally in the back you have a 13-megapixel autofocus camera with an LED flash, and you can tell the design is a closed one. Android peers will love the fact that Alcatel didn't mess around too much with the experience. It's mostly running a stock Android 5.0 Lollipop experience with some subtle customizations in the form of some widgets and the way the icons look. But relatively speaking, it's pretty faithful. Now, you do have this cool feature of the UI being reversible. So whatever you're doing, whether you're in an app, you flip the phone the opposite way, or you just pick it up, it automatically will adjust whether it's the correct side up or the opposite. So that's pretty great in itself. It's powered by a 64-bit base octa-core Qualcomm Snapdragon 615 chip with 2GB of RAM, 16GB of internal storage. It's pretty responsive for the most part, as you could tell, but when it comes to gaming, it's not really the best thing. We do notice a big hitch in its performance, and every now and then we do notice just some slight delayed operations. It's not bad, but it is noticeable. Beyond that, it's pretty much functional. It's great for surfing the web with its spacious size and detailed display. It's great for watching movies just because of the size and also the iridescent glow of the panel. And finally, with the Mix music application, it's interesting because it kind of mimics a turnstile, so you'll be able to actually mix up your songs. And with its dual front-firing JBL speakers, it produces a pretty potent 77.7 decibels of audio power, but at the loudest volume setting, it does sound a little bit strained and thin. As I've said, the Alcatel OneTouch Idol 3 packs along a 13-megapixel camera. Now, we're kind of forgiving with its quality. It's not really bad, but it's neither really good too. But as long as you have good lighting in the scenery, you'll be able to take some decent looking shots that are filled with adequate detail. Colors tend to be a little bit in the saturated side, and it doesn't really do that great when it comes to handling dynamic range, but for the most part, we can't complain too much. Under lower lighting conditions though, that's where we see a dip in its quality. You get smudgier, grainier looking details, noise, and of course, just an overall decreased quality. With its panoramic shots, it's not necessarily the best just because it's light with the details as well. With its 1080p video recording quality, it's kind of a disappointment. It's also lacking in the details department. We do appreciate that it has electronic image stabilization, so it kind of keeps things steady looking. But of course, the audio recording is very thin and artificial sounding. Seriously, you won't have any issues with phone calls using the phone. It's just excellent. With the earpiece, it's strong, powerful. Voices have a robust, very prominent tone to them. Unfortunately, you can't do the reversible thing. It's only one side. You could actually hear your callers. On the other end line, our callers were treated to the same results too. Very clear and distinctive voices. And in noisy environments, you could even use the speakerphone without any issues as well. The battery in here is pretty good. We got easily more than a day out of its 2910 milliamp hour battery. And in our battery benchmark test, it produces a pretty respectable mark of 8.5 hours from a single charge, which is pretty good for most smartphones nowadays. So it's above average in that category. If this is what we can expect from a phone with an MSRP of $250, we're really going to have higher expectations from everyone else going forward. Quite simply, the Alcatel OneTouch Idol 3 is a testament to what can be achieved by a phone that's on a budget. Considering that you're only paying just a little bit over 35% of what you'd be paying in getting an iPhone 6 Plus or even an Nexus 6 outright, the Alcatel OneTouch Idol 3 has all the right ingredients and perfectly follows the recipe in what's now going forward as the new benchmark for entry-level phablets.